Welcome to another episode of the Superficial Intelligence Podcast. I'm joined by Chris and Kush.
Yeah.
We've got a action-packed episode today. We're going to be talking about Tesla and good old Elon Musk and the Cybertruck and
Getting banned on PlayStation.
getting
We're gonna
banned
talk
on
about,
PlayStation.
Yeah, how pettiness can be a curse.
Mic check, mic check.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Going sexy.
Say it loud.
Say it loud.
Time to bring up.
All right, now
our
it's time to talk
controversial
about
opinion.
Cybertrucks.
Ooh, that's a big one. Every week I see something newly wrong with Cybertrucks.
I like paying $100,000 for a vegetable peeler.
What? A vegetable peeler?
Have you seen that video? So there's obviously everyone's heard about the fingers. Like the trunk can cut off your fingers, but
What?
oh yeah, don't buy a Cybertruck by the way.
I don't plan
so
on it.
all the
Welcome
all the
live.
you wanted one and then you saw them, right? Sure,
No,
hopefully.
I don't think it's. Frunk me. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh, is the thing open? My bad. I just gotta drink this over top of it. Cut.
Cut.
So yeah, the Cybertruck.
Welcome live.
It's a vegetable peeler.
Can you
$100,000.
blow out that candle?
It's a danger to us all. Come on, Chris. Come on.
Wow. When's the last birthday you had?
I don't remember the last time. Anyway,
Okay.
Now it's just gonna be like I see the
the sound.
smoke kind of like going in front of the
Okay, now
camera.
it's like a
That's
Halloween
fine, that's
episode.
fine.
Early
It
Halloween.
won't be noticed.
Halloween episode. Oh, we definitely
So,
have to dress up.
$100,000 for a vegetable peeler, right?
Hold on. Let's bring some context first.
But what
of
is the
all.
vegetable peeler?
Okay, yeah, we're getting there. So,
Okay.
so one, apparently you hadn't heard, it can just chop your fingers off.
Has someone lost a finger?
No one's lost a finger. A guy almost did he actually lose his fingers?
He didn't
only
lose it. He
almost
almost lost
almost
it. Like it got
so
like
he
I
was
think it was.
testing the claims.
I think it was just attached via skin technically, but yeah, like it was basically.
Why
He's in
would
the
you
finger
test
cast.
with your own finger?
Well,
Use a dummy.
Well, it was after the
he's a
software
Tesla, bro. They're not.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's the dummy.
It
Gotcha.
was a
the
soft-
dumb- yeah,
it was after the
he was
update.
trying to prove them wrong or prove the haters wrong. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, people were showing like so most trunks have a feature that will prevent the trunk from closing and murdering your fingers,
Yeah.
especially newer smarter trunks.
Yeah.
And most trunks are also made out of like soft edged metal, right?
Uh-huh.
And not sharp steel.
Mm-hmm.
They're
like
usually,
some Cybertrucks.
They're usually rounded too, if you've
yeah,
noticed.
it's like a little rounded edge. So it's like if it does close on your fingers, like it's not sharp, so it won't cut through.
It'll
Okay.
bludgeon. Might
It'll
crush your-
hurt.
Yeah,
It'll
might
hurt like a
crush your finger.
motherfucker if you do it, but like you won't lose the finger probably
Yeah.
unless it's a real bad like someone's fucking going for it, right?
Yeah.
The Cybertruck, not only does it not have those safety features, it just goes. Like if once you release and let it go, it's like
And
it
there's no
slams down.
stop in the app or
There's
anything.
no. Oh no. Well, I think it's a manual open. All the videos I've seen are like manual open. Well, actually no. Maybe it was a. Anyway, it doesn't stop when it sees fingers. So people were testing this with carrots, right? Because carrots are generally considered a facsimile for fingers.
Mm-hmm. Or other
And it was just fucking. It was chopping it. So you can chop your vegetables. But fun fact, the edges of the steel are sharp enough that you can also take it to the door. Like you can open your driver's side door, take out your carrot that needs peeling while you're out camping on your, Cybertruck with the tent attachment. This is the thing. You just run the carrot along the door frame,
Just like-
and it peels.
This is utility.
Right. It's. I think people are underestimating
The value.
the value that
nothing
they're
wrong
getting. You're paying $100,000. You get a car and you get a vegetable. You get a vegetable chopper.
I'm getting
You get a vegetable peeler.
I'm
You
getting
get a visit to Grady Hospital.
You get a visit to the
I'm
hospital.
getting a Japanese grade cutting knife. All
Yeah.
in one.
All in one. It's truly a marvel of technology, and it rusts.
Yeah,
Unless you pay for the
coating.
extra coating,
People
which costs an
course.
additional few $1,000s.
I'm sure that wears off.
People forget that steel can rust. Yeah.
It's an interesting fact. Yeah. Yeah, and apparently it's not good at off-roading.
Yeah.
It's because it's so heavy because it's an electric car, and it's also made of sheet metal.
This is not financial advice, but I sold my shares in Tesla.
Wait, whoa. Hold on.
How many did you have? All 2 of them?
No, you're supposed to pump that shit up before you
You're supposed to say, buy Tesla.
Buy.
And then,
I sold.
and then we sell our options tomorrow.
Not only did I sell,
I've been watching the Tesla stock recently just for fun.
Hold on.
They're up.
it's
$4
blocking down right now.
I haven't seen
But
Tesla.
it was up like 200 something last year.
Yep.
And it's gone down. It's like 180 right now.
Let me double check.
I haven't. I was Googling it just to see like after like the Cybertruck recall and every other thing. It was like just to see like what's happening with the stock, and it was going up at the time. It was like Cybertruck recall, but also we've got full self-driving in China, and that's clearly enough to bump the stock, I guess.
But like if you look over, over the last year or even the last 2 years, it's down.
Yeah, but I think it's important to realize that Elon Musk deserves the $40 billion payout.
No, he does not.
Okay.
It's like 50-something billion.
So you can pop this up in After Effects.
It's just under 40.
You can pop this up in After Effects later. So so year to date it's down $65 a share. But if we look in a smaller window, like a week, I mean, I'll be generous. If we look in a month, they're up $1.90 a share.
That's because it dropped like $4 out to them.
Yeah, it's gonna rebound a little bit.
And all I'm saying is like, here's my thing about our favorite non-problematic South African here.
That Bard can't seem to, or is it Gemini, whichever it is, can't seem to.
Elon Musk.
Can't seem to make him not black.
I mean, that's a whole different conversation.
Oh, you gotta love AI, man.
That's a whole different.
We had this conversation on the cast already.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I sold because and I not only did I sell, but I sold at a loss too. Because
you bought it last year, bro.
I was honestly, I have no faith in this company. So as long as Elon Musk is the CEO,
why? Yeah,
because he's extremely volatile and he makes very rash decisions. Yeah, like for example, something that super frustrated me. He laid off like 90% of the supercharger team or something like that.
That's all he does. Yeah.
It's good business. You reduce costs.
Yeah. Well, he reduced costs, all right, and like he also in the process broke several superchargers. I was on my way to a wedding a few weeks ago or so, and I was over an hour and a half late to this wedding because I couldn't find anywhere to charge my car.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So did they take out the supercharger? Like the superchargers are out of maintenance, or like the thing couldn't?
They were out of order. They were out of order. Like entire lines of superchargers just not working, and so therefore there were lines of Teslas trying to charge.
Yeah.
People's cars were literally going straight, completely dead, right at the charger. I'm sure I didn't see this personally, but I'm sure at some point someone probably had to push their car in neutral to a charger because like the lines were insane. Like if you push it to the point, like if you push it down to 0%. And you're just there. You're expecting to be able to charge, and you can't charge.
Isn't that actually bad?
I went to like 3 different chargers.
It is bad to push your battery down that low, but you can't always avoid it.
What can you do if it's hot outside, so you have to run your AC?
Your battery goes
and you're like you pull up to the charger with maybe 3-4%, and you're waiting for it. You're waiting in line. I can't undersell this. Like there were lines.
Well, there's like a battery saver mode, I think, with Tesla when it's out in the hot weather where it just runs AC to make sure the car doesn't overheat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like you're just running like in the hot summer if you don't have like internal parking, even if you do probably, you're basically losing battery passively.
Wow.
Or you're letting your battery get damaged, which lowers the lifetime.
Because like I didn't know that about, I'm no electrical engineer now, so I didn't know that about Teslas. Like I heard somewhere like if you let an electric car go to zero, it's like really bad for the battery.
I
And I'm
imagine it's
just
pretty
like,
bad. Same thing if you charge it up to 100% all the time.
And from
You're not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to like charge up to 80.
I know about that, and like yeah, like we learned, at least like I learned about that with like phones even, right? Like that's what we learned about capacitors, and you shouldn't burn them through like 100% all the time.
There's a setting on the iPhone to not charge past 80%.
Yep.
And like I wonder why, I guess like for Teslas even zero is bad too, but we don't have to get into that. But my whole thing is just like this is like this should push for that whole solar panel roof conversation. I
But
think
that
I brought
doesn't.
up.
It just doesn't make sense though. While you're moving, like the car's not going to charge. So like your car would
Right.
have to be stationary and sitting in the sun.
It doesn't-
Which by that point, if your car is sitting in the sun,
there's not enough.
it's running the AC. So
Right.
you're really just paying for.
You're just getting like a bit of it. And the thing is, like, it's not going to be enough electricity to actually.
It doesn't
offset the
have to
AC.
be.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be enough to like fully offset. It just has to hurt. Make your downpour trickle instead.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah, but then
and
you
I think
then you lose the entire glass roof.
that's fine.
It's not fine.
That is fine.
It's not.
It'll probably make things cooler for you. Honestly,
Yeah,
it'll
true.
probably make
That's
things
the other
cooler.
thing is that
I would rather have the glass roof.
You'd rather be magnified like through with like you'd.
The roof is very well like it's basically sunglasses
Yeah.
or more. So it's not like awful, but it's
Now if they put it in like the hood or they put it in the trunk, I could see that. But like you can't. No, you cannot.
See, my thing is, and it's like, and I think this is where I'll have, and I will say you as like electric car bros, like, because like my whole thing is just like, why is it whenever I bring this conversation up with anyone in like the electric car field, it's just like. They're like, oh, it doesn't offset anything. Like, it doesn't offset, but like, it doesn't like fully
I think there's
charge the
better
car.
options.
Like what?
Well-
I got a really good one for you. Like instead of like taking away the entire like front grill, give us a front grill back on the car,
Okay.
and then as you're driving, use wind power to charge the battery from the wind that's coming through the front of the car.
that I don't think that provides enough energy.
It probably would be pretty comparable to a solar panel.
I don't think it would be.
Well,
See, my
while
thing-
you're driving, the
wind
solar
power's
panel
pretty-
doesn't even
Like,
it
have you
doesn't
seen
even
how
work
big like wind
because you need
turbines
direct,
are?
constant, direct sunlight.
Like wind turbines are that big for a reason, and that's
Yeah.
also true for solar panels. Is the
Solar
other
panels
thing
need to
here.
cover a lot for a reason, and wind turbines also have to be big for a reason. But like my thing is, okay, like even if we play the whole like, is a wind turbine worth it versus the aerodynamics that they mathematically deduced is better, whatever. I don't know, because I still remember, like, I think it was Jeremy or like someone, like I remember I brought this up like a while ago, and like someone said like, well, would the weight offset even make a sense? Like, would it make
That's
sense? Because like solar
maybe.
panels are heavy, so like, aren't you technically for the idea of charging in the sun? Aren't you
Well, the
cutting
other
into
thing
your
here is
fuel?
like your car's already so heavy.
Mhm.
In the first place, like if you add that solar panel too, like I think probably you want something that's not on either not on the car or like
I think
like,
we need
like the
express
solar
lanes.
charging stations.
We need express lanes with like batteries under them, and the cars need to be retrofitted with wireless charging pads. So like you can just, as you're driving through this express
yes.
lane,
Let
you're
me start
also
like
charging the
that
car.
sounds like a fire.
Let me start stealing copper wires from the asphalt. No. My thing is, I completely understand like there's a give and take with like adding some level of renewable generation on the car, and like I'm okay with that because because here's the thing. My thing isn't that like, oh, let's make new infrastructure to make it better. My whole thing is like, just because how dumb all this business is, right? It's gonna take a while to add more stations, charging, whatever, right?
Well, there's one thing that they do in China. It's more for short range, so it maybe wouldn't apply always. But they have you can replace the battery and then like leave your battery at a charging station.
Yeah.
So that way you get like a quick recharge.
Someone's
They
faulty
mostly use it for
refurbished battery.
well, it should be like battery, like it would have to be
standard.
like regulated
Yeah.
/ a standard or something, and like it's like gas stations.
But is that
can
is that
explode. charger?
is that faster than charging for 15 minutes?
No, well, it's faster for you, and then the batteries are smaller.
Mm.
So which is why I said it's like more of a short. It's like taxi. They use it mostly for like taxis and stuff. So
I mean,
it's
range is pretty good right now.
It's an alternate. It's like 100 to 200 miles, which is not.
Yeah, see, my range is 353.
Again, but yeah,
People always say that, and then you forget everything runs electric in that car.
Sure. Well, it's like 300, 400 miles. Like it's
not everything uses the
This
battery,
isn't like a solution for, and like actually, I think one possible solution there is like you can put in like if you could also put in like a more long range battery, but that way like you could have a short range battery for like when you're just puttering around the city. But like the infrastructure for that would be crazy. Yeah, puttering. But the infrastructure for that would be like a crazy change on like how the U.S. is currently. So not necessarily the way to go, but that might be like an option for like your house. Like you just have like if there was an easy way to change out the battery.
I'm just saying there needs to be better options for this, so that way when your tyrannical overlord Elon Musk makes these dumb changes to business without seeing the overarching consequences, it's like, oh, thank God I at least have this like a way of like surviving a bit longer kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I would say the I'm really, really glad that I got the charger installed at home.
Oh yeah.
Because the madness that's happening right now at the superchargers is ridiculous.
Crazy. And the other thing, I've seen some metrics recently where it was like people were talking about like how the electric car market's like going down, but like looking at the graphs, it's Tesla. It's like Tesla car. Like Tesla is like, I think they sold like 30,000 less cars in the last year, versus like every other like Tesla is like down 30,000, and then every other EV provider is up, like if you combine all of them, like 28 or 29,000. Yeah. So like Tesla's losses have essentially offset the entire market.
Because the rest of the market isn't run by some crazy guy who thinks, you know, it'll really help my business, cutting the safety team. Yeah, like it's like, because like I think I was saying this earlier, like every week I'm learning through TikTok a new thing wrong with the Cybertruck. And like, don't get me wrong, I already thought it looked stupid, and after seeing it in person, I don't know if anyone's like seen one.
I finally saw one a couple weeks ago.
Like when you're 5 feet away from that car, you realize how stupid it looks.
I'm like, there was one following me, and I was like, dude, if their brakes fail or if I gotta stop, like that car's going through me. Like,
I think the front of it kind of.
I'm losing the entire back half of my car.
No,
I think the front looks cool, especially the light bar.
Low poly.
It does.
Yeah,
I think the light bar.
Actually, I think the light bar looks cheap.
It probably is.
Teach their own, but like, I will say the back of the Cybertruck looks stupid. So stupid.
The entire
especially
car
like the bottom, the bottom like part. Like there's this big gap between like where the bottom of the trunk is and then where the wheel axle is, and it looks so ugly.
That's plenty of space for truck balls, though.
You know how many truck balls you can put on that thing? How much mileage am I losing per truck ball? But yeah, no, like that car is like so stupid looking, and I'm like, it was funny. Even like me and my wife were looking at it, and just like it looks so ugly, and I'm like, you know, it looked better on like a computer screen. Like it looked better on
from
like
the side.
It looked better from the side. Now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is stupid.
They're talking about like how it's a fingerprint magnet, and the first one I saw like in a parking lot, like you could see where like the handle oil like, rubbed off on it was like rubbing off the steel, like from opening the door.
Yep.
I was just like,
and they're selling this thing for like $70,000
minimum,
for the cheapest. Yeah,
like, and it's like that's the one that doesn't even have like it's single
zero.
motor,
Zero to the dual. Zero to minimum. Yeah, dual to minimum. They took away the single entirely. I don't know if they're bringing it back, but the single was supposed to be like $50,000, and
it probably wasn't enough to move the whole, because those things are heavy,
super heavy.
Like they're like motor? With all the steel and the batteries that you need to move all that.
I was gonna say a single motor for that car would be like no, a single per axle. That's bad. No, I would imagine the truck needs 4 per wheel.
And then the accelerator
like
pedal
1 per.
I mean, it just goes up. It goes up to triple.
Did you hear about that? Or like why you've heard about the recall with the accelerator pedal, right? Did you hear about why it was like a problem?
No,
Did you hear about?
I didn't even hear about the recall.
Okay, so every Cybertruck has been recalled.
There's a stop production on them too.
Because
the only thing I heard about was like the windshield wiper. There was something wrong with the motor.
No.
I didn't even hear about that one.
I hadn't heard that one either. But the accelerator pedal
Yeah.
has a pad on it for grip, right? And then you know how like the foot of a car, like there's like little ledges and stuff for wiring or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
The pad slid off while it was it can slide off while you're pushing down and then get caught under like that ledge, and then your car is in permanent acceleration
At 100%.
at 100% basically.
So the guy who figured it out, it happened to him on the expressway or the highway, and he was like, thankfully, I didn't freak out. So I knew that if I pressed the brake, it like overrides the accelerator. So he just came to like a complete stop on the highway, and then like the second he would let off the brake, it's just launch control.
Yeah,
my
it's like
God.
and it's that full acceleration too, right?
He
like
probably had
0 to
the
60.
triple motor too, so he was there
So-
in 2.1
So
seconds.
he had to like work his way from like the brake pedal
Like,
to like
slowly-
to
oh
like
my
to like get
God.
get to the thing and figure out why the pedal was stuck down.
And he like, so he figured it out, and he just ended up taking his entire cover off. He was like, I don't need this. I just took it off. But he's like, just so y'all know, that's what it is. And obviously, it's happened to more people. More people freaked out instead. I don't think there was an
I don't think there's been
accident,
any accidents,
but
fortunately.
like, it's been enough where like, obviously, yeah,
I mean,
complete
that's-
recall, stop order on it, so they're not producing them. At least they shouldn't
It's a
be.
problem. It's a problem, man. Don't buy the
Allegedly,
Cybertruck.
it was because there was an unapproved adhesive used in the
Yeah.
factory, is what they said. Which sounds like they just weren't checking the glue
quality
that they were
control.
using, which is a quality control, which
Sorry,
was probably
we
all
fired
laid
the
off.
team.
We fired the
Quality.
quality control team, probably.
Quality control. This is why you can
It's
never.
like, why would we need quality control when
You know
our
what? Just-
products have
just-
such high quality in the first place?
Apple, please buy Tesla. just buy it. Just buy it.
Literally, all Tesla needs to do is get rid of Musk. Same for Twitter. I mean, Twitter can't, though, because Musk just straight up owns it.
He has destroyed that.
Doesn't
That,
Twitter?
and it's the same story. He laid off he laid off important teams like that, and also he's kind of just pro hate speech.
I will never forget.
Pro freedom of speech, which just happens to always be hate speech and not anything else, because he's banned people who've like done like fake hate speech, where it's like
towards him.
yeah towards him.
Behind the scenes on Patreon.
No, like this, because I'm literally sitting here thinking like he's crazy. He's a megalomaniac. He's not all that smart, and my whole thing is like he's the embodiment of there's no such thing as bad news, right? All news is good news.
Yeah.
And I think that's how he keeps his brands alive. Because like
Very Trumpian.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because my thing is like, don't get me wrong. I was about to say like when you said you sold Tesla for a loss, I was about to say like you should have been selling for a major loss. Because like I still to this day
Tesla should have cratered.
You
More.
tell me that Tesla don't get me wrong. I get advent of new technology, blah blah blah. But like, what's their market cap? Like I remember when they were at the high,
the thing is,
they
like-
were like 4 times Toyota or something like
It's
that.
crazy. I mean, they're leading the market. In theory, they were also producing battery, but their big thing was selling energy credits to other companies to offset their carbon emissions, right? Like Tesla is basically just an energy credit producer, so to offset the carbon, they would sell those energy credits, which is entirely insane that you could sell energy credits to me. Like, that seems like it entirely defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
Either way.
Point is, like, apart from actual innovation, I think after like, and like this sounds dumb of me, but like I think after the Roadster, like the first Roadster was made, because God knows when the second will ever come out. After that first Roadster was made, very soon. I think like that was the end of like Tesla innovation to show you like what electrics can do, and then past that it was like, don't get me wrong, I guess what is it, the P95 or whatever, like the big sedan model.
Well, those are probably all like ideated and generated before Musk was even like the founder.
Maybe, but my whole thing is like I think after like that first Roadster and like the P95,
It's a Roadster that never came out.
well, the first one came out. They made like a small batch.
They did release a few of them.
They're probably still fixing them
they're
all, too.
probably still fixing.
Maybe, but like
Maybe.
I remember I've seen a Roadster in the wild.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a legendary Pokemon. I've seen it once. It was owned by like a Falcons
How
football
much
player.
range does that thing get?
Not enough, but
Like 5 miles?
that thing goes
It's-
faster than most
It goes
motorcycles I've
fast.
seen.
It's like
Take that on the Autobahn.
It's probably got like 200.
Like, it can get 50 for all I care. That thing goes fast.
Yeah. It'll take you to
it doesn't-
McDonald's and back.
It will take you to the new universe.
You'll get there fast.
Oh, you will. You will go.
You want that Mickey D's now?
Yeah, it probably has the
take that
slowest
road.
charging, too.
Did you want to go back to the past? You will with that car. Like, no, but like, I think past the roadster, it's like,
That was my phone.
Oh,
I'm technically on call right now, so I had to leave it off mute.
okay.
but yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't
Point
think it
being,
picked it up anyway.
point being, I think since then all their innovation's been kind of ass, and like, yeah, no, I am supportive that you sold. Or
What's funny is like I sold at a loss and then got that loss back within the next day because I just put it into ETFs.
Oh, are we gonna become a finance bro?
Let's go. Finance.
6'5", blue eyes, finance.
No, but like I'm just tired of Elon. He like
Should put it in
he makes incredibly rash decisions. Like, did you all see that he said that he was going to ban employees from bringing their iPhones into work at Twitter and at Tesla
Because of the AI.
because if ChatGPT is integrated at the OS level, then you're gonna have to check your phone in at the door. Like things like that. He didn't even clearly he
Actually,
didn't
that's
even
based.
watch the presentation because if you watch if like who does he have like feeding him this information? I feel like he's just listening to someone who hates Apple or someone who just has a lot of hate
Well,
in their
Yeah,
hearts
he's right.
because like
Because he wants to say the N word. That's why he has so much hate.
Gotta stop.
Apple's gonna ban him from saying it. I'm telling you.
Apple's gonna make an Elon Musk
A
filter
filter.
just for him.
Like it's ridiculous. Like he clearly did not watch the presentation because if you did, you would have seen that no, ChatGPT is not baked in at the OS level. It's completely opt-in. It's almost annoyingly opt-in.
Is it opt-in?
It is absolutely
Okay.
opt-in.
I didn't see that part of the presentation. I tuned
because
in late.
so basically when you make a request that requires it to go out to the web, it says, do you want to use
Well,
ChatGPT?
that's. I meant like I don't want the baseline like stuff on my phone really.
What do you mean?
Like I don't want the Apple Intelligence running like normally, even if it's running on my phone. Like I just find it annoying.
What do you mean?
AI.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel most of the time I don't feel much value out of AI, and I don't if it's like autocorrect suggestions. Like I don't want them.
Whoa, Chris, are you saying that AI isn't all
I'm sorry.
that useful?
AI is actually. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. AI is very important to me.
No, I'm
I mean,
just
I don't know.
I'm just curious because did you watch the
I saw
Apple
the-
Intelligence
I saw the
portion?
presentation, and there are a couple things that seemed of interest,
Mhm.
but none of it was like, I don't know. I still haven't seen the killer feature for AI, and I think we've talked about this,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, okay, I can write my school papers, but I'm not in school anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's only useful for
it's
the
like
kids now.
it's like I can write. It's like it can do calculus, but hey,
Wolfram
still not in
Alpha.
school.
Yeah.
Literally, people,
Fun fact.
people talking about like, oh, these are the cool things that AI can do now, and I'm like, Wolfram Alpha existed for your math homework, and like it was far
But
better
now
than
you can-
AI.
Now you can draw it out, so you don't have to figure
Yes.
out where all the Unicode is.
Oh yes, that's what I need.
Is
Literally,
that
That was a text
Is
message.
that work?
Yeah,
That's your
no,
te-
that's
that's your-
a text message. Are we gonna? Is it
that
every time I get
Facebook
a?
Messenger?
It is Facebook Messenger. Is it every time I'm gonna get a? Every time I get a.
Why don't you use like a focus mode so that you like just allow through?
I mean, technically, it would.
why don't you use
ignore my
Apple
silence.
Intelligence to set a focus? mode?
Install the
Yeah,
beta.
if Apple Intelligence could just set that up for me, it probably can. Here, we'll see what happens.
You could just
I
use
I believe it will actually go through. It will ignore my messages anyway. I just leave it off.
No, but
there's
if
a
you-
setting that even outside of focus modes to let this app ignore
Yeah.
your settings.
No, I'm saying like you can if you were in a focus mode and like only a certain handful of people are going to be the ones that reach out to you from work. You can allow notifications from those individuals.
It's an app. It's an app.
That's
And no
not
one
too
and you
tells-
can
no
allow
one has my-
notifications
No,
from that
yes,
app.
I know.
That's not too
I have that
important.
set up.
Pager duty's not
Do
that
you?
great.
Because Facebook Messenger is going.
Pager
off.
duty is better than option.
Pager duty overrides all. Pager duty is
Pager duty. But yeah, there's override. You
But
can you can override on the OS for that specific thing, which I actually have set up, so it's not as big of a deal.
my
I'm just
thing.
worried if that it won't ping.
My
'Cause
thing
option
is,
sucks.
let's talk about the fact the real big killer here, not the Cybertruck, not the real killer,
Oh, we're
but the
going
digital
back.
killer. No, we're going forward. We're moving
Okay.
forward. Just like electrics, we're moving forward.
Toyota. Sorry.
What is Toyota's next EV going to be?
Don't they have
They already have the
they
Prius.
got the Prius, yeah.
But I mean, like, when's it going to be? When are they going to make a cooler
do they
Prius?
not have they have an EV option, don't they?
Yeah, no, actually, I think technically, I take that back. I put mud on their name. I think technically all of their lines have a full EV version.
Do they?
I think so, because they have like hybrids, and I think you can
They do
you
have
can
like
just
a bunch of hybrids.
you can just cut out the gas engine for all of them. So I think I take that back. I'm pretty sure.
Plug-in EVs, I think.
Yeah, I think all of their lines technically have a plug-in mode, a version if you want, but like they all go up to hybrid at least. But yeah, point being, no, not even that.
Get an
Yeah,
Ioniq 6.
What is it?
Get a Hyundai Ioniq 6.
Just at this point,
I stand the Ioniq 6.
the Ioniq. At this point, just get a Fisker. Those things, just
What was the one? Is that the one?
that's one that catches on fire randomly.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's the one that's the one that's changed ownership. I think 4 times or 3 times now, and it's still a bad car. Like each time it's changed ownerships, it's always been a bad car.
Which one's the one that Marcus Brownlee killed? The EV company.
Was it the Fisker or was it like no?
It was like some new. I think it was a new EV.
The newest one I saw was Rivian's, and like I've been seeing. those on
No,
the
it was like a
road.
new brand.
Oh, a new brand.
I think it was a new brand, and they were having like just trouble throughout the process, and they like sent him a car, and he just roasted it for like 30 minutes and the stock tanked.
Oh yeah, I do remember seeing this video. I don't remember what the name of the brand was.
Marquez Brownlee. No, but that's not the thing. The thing I was going to mention was calculators finally coming to iPad. Who's stoked?
True. Oh my God. We can, not only are they coming to iPad, now you can draw your, okay, actually the biggest thing, sorry, just to distract away from the calculator discussion. I found that, or I didn't realize that you can play Death Stranding on the iPhone 15 Pro.
Wait, what?
You
And on
can
the
play,
iPad.
you can pay, yeah, who cares with the iPad?
Yeah,
iPad is my main device.
They don't even have a calculator. How do you do math in your head?
Yeah, how do you even do your math?
iPads have calculators now.
But you can play it on. I was like, you can play it on the iPhone, and I was like, oh, that's neat. And so I like looked up a comparison video, or just like a video to show like what it looks like.
It's
on
like
the
Switch
iPhone.
graphics.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's, like I assume I didn't see. Like, it's hard to see frame rate through a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it runs at 24 or 30 FPS, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Maybe.
but the thing that just I laughed very hard at was they were like, this is Death Stranding on the PS4 Pro, and as you can see, it's very comparable to the iPhone 15 Pro, and it's like, the iPhone 15 Pro is just like flat textures, like the aliasing's way off. To be fair, the PS4 Pro doesn't look that great either, but I wouldn't expect much from a PS4, and it's impressive that the iPhone 15 can run it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like it would set my hands on fire if I tried to hold it.
Wear a case.
I feel like that'd be worse.
The case would make it worse than just insulating. So it's like I'm just like
Case just
I'm just,
melts in your
it's
hands.
like yeah, like the case is gonna melt. I'm destroying my battery if I try to play this game. But it's cool that it technically works.
I mean, hey, that's a feat. I
The
remember
fact that they were able to downscale the game to the scale that you could play it on iPhone 15 Pro is pretty neat.
I've brought that up
Resident
before.
Evil 7's coming out on
Yeah.
the iPhone 15.
I've brought
I
that
think
up
like next
before.
week or something. Right?
Is it next week? I
think
thought it was
so.
a little bit longer.
I've brought this up before and I stand by it. Low scale or low res or whatever, like AAA games coming to mobile devices is necessary.
Yeah.
That's why the PSP
Sure.
was so fucking cool.
I'm a little frustrated that
That's
No
cool.
Man's Sky has not yet come to the iPad or the iPhone like it was promised 2 WWDCs
Really?
ago. Yeah.
Was that
For a second, I thought he was going to say 2
remember when-
WWEs ago, and I'm like, yes, SmackDown
hyped
versus.
for No Man's Sky.
I still think it's a great game.
It is a good game.
They still push out updates to this game.
But it's become a good game. But when it came out, it was not a good game.
It was so empty.
Oh yeah, it was not. A good
I
game.
remember like the original hype for that, and it was like, oh man, I was like, that is a lot of stuff to be trying to put on a, what was it? Like,
But they've done it
PS4
all.
at the
Like
time.
they've come
They
back
did
around.
ultimately get it all out there.
It helps to have
which
Sony's
is good.
money.
And I do play. I've played I've now played No Man's Sky now that it's good. I need to play. I want to play the latest patch.
I want to play Light No Fire when that comes out.
That looks like it might be good as long as it doesn't have the No Man's Sky experience. Where you have to wait 10 years for it to be good.
Yes.
Well, I mean, most of the stuff that's probably going to be in that game is already in No Man's Sky. They're just focusing
They're just
it.
reskinning it,
Yeah.
basically, and turning it into which is, hopefully a good thing.
So now that my PlayStation account is banned.
How'd you do that?
Screw the calculator coming to iPads. This is the real
This is actually something I wanted to know.
Solo was harboring illegal data on his PlayStation.
I like to think that Solo went on a screed in the middle of a Helldivers game because someone stole his samples.
I like to think that Solo went on this entire hateful tirade to some 5-year-old on Helldivers, just calling them all ranges of slurs because they stole his samples and then they died last minute and then they didn't even recover the samples.
And they called in a 380mm.
Have y'all had those moments where like the lobby just goes completely quiet because someone did some dumb thing?
I don't play with random people.
I love those moments. Like it's all like hype and yelling, and out of nowhere, like you like end up f***ing up, and then everyone goes quiet, and then the next 5 seconds is you've been kicked.
Because that 5 seconds, somene's like going through the menu trying to like find your name and kick you.
Oh, I've definitely like on the couple occasions where I've accidentally left the lobby open. And someone joined, I was like, okay, fine. I'm not just gonna kick someone because of my mistake.
Yeah.
But the second someone calls in a 380mm barrage, they're
Goodbye.
gone. It's like I'm not dealing with this.
See, my favorite
For the next 30 minutes.
Does it stop the attack if you kick them in the middle of
No.
it?
No, the game has something called object permanence. So my favorite was this one guy. His entire
But it does stop more barrages.
his entire thing was I like to play Minesweeper, and that's what he said. Coming into lobby, and I had no idea what that meant until we were on a small map, and he just calls mines everywhere, and then he leaves, and those stay. So now we're running around on an insect-filled map
that's one thing
with mines too.
What a troll!
You gotta play the original, or from the original Helldivers. There was actually a minesweeper. Like one of the objectives was like a minesweeping thing, and like you would get like a metal detector, and you'd have to find where the mines were and like pull them out. And they need to bring that back into the game, but with the anti-tank mines, and it just blows you.
And now you have even more mines. It's so crazy. But yes, no, I like to think that's how Solo got banned. He was screaming.
So
I also haven't played Helldivers since my account got banned.
Well, how can you?
Can you even play?
I mean, I could create a new account.
Well, that would be against the terms of service.
I could create a new account, but then I will have lost everything. So,
So what happened?
So I bought Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, and then you started saying bad things on Baldur's Gate 3.
No.
That's not even an online
I didn't
game.
say bad things to anyone.
You ripped a copy from your hacked PlayStation.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, you bought Baldur's Gate 3.
And you modded it for everyone to be nude.
You modded it.
I didn't do anything to the game
All right, you bought
besides
Baldur's Gate
download
3.
it.
Okay, you bought it.
I bought it. I pressed the download button.
Okay.
I opened the game. The game, when you go to play it, it's like, oh, additional download is necessary to play the game. So I sat there, waited for it to download.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it finished downloading, I finally started the game. And then I realized that it was a turn-based game. And I did not want it anymore.
Oh, no.
And so I requested a refund from Sony.
Didn't read the reviews.
Not even the reviews.
You
didn't watch
requested a
it.
refund
I
from
didn't.
Sony.
I was like, oh, it's game of the year. Surely it's got to be good.
It is good. But not for you. Okay.
Definitely not.
Not for you. Okay.
So I requested a refund from Sony. Sony said that they would not refund, even though I was within the 14-day period. They would not refund the game because I downloaded it. I'm like, well, what the f*** do you think somebody's going to do when they buy a game? They're going to press the download button. But specifically, because I pressed the download button, that voided any opportunity to refund the game.
Really?
And so I talked to several different people. They all said the same thing. I talked to supervisors. They all said the same thing. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to dispute this transaction with my bank. And so I disputed the transaction with my bank. And my bank gave me the money back. And Sony banned my account.
Yeah, as they would.
Yeah.
You know when you do like those when you do like fraud disputes like that, like you'll get your money back, especially if it's like a credit card, like because then it's their money, not your money, right? So you'll get the money back even quicker.
Mhm.
But what they do in retaliation, banks and like financial institutions, they put like a negative mark on that brand or that seller. So
Well,
going forward,
As they should, because this is bull. If I would have bought a physical copy of this game from, say, Best Buy, I would have been able to take the game back.
No, but that's the thing. It's like it doesn't take. I think I think what you're not getting is like it doesn't take too many fraud allegations until like the like the Better Business Bureau like comes in and it's like or things like that, right? It's like and my
Well, they should.
What's
They
my one
should.
thing I always
There's
say?
absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be able to refund a game that I've spent less than 10 minutes in.
I
mean,
agree.
I agree. This is
Like-
something Steam used to have a big problem with. Was like you.
Well, now
couldn't
Steam
refund
has like
at
what,
all.
a 2-hour window or
You can
2-day
play the
window or
game.
something
You
like
can
that?
play the game for 2 hours,
Yeah.
and or you have or if you've owned it for more than 30 or less than 30 days. If one of those, if you played for less than 2 hours and you've owned it for less than 30 days, you can refund it.
Yeah.
But it used to be you couldn't. There was no refunds on Steam unless like
And
the
if-
game was actually like a scam, and that was like, and even then like it would have to be like massive drama, and Steam would have to do like a special thing for it, and it sucked.
I think it's greedy of Sony to say specifically because, and they didn't care about the fact that I opened the game, the fact that I played the game. They only cared about the fact that I pressed the download button.
It's because
When it's the literal next button after the buy.
I
Like,
think
what else am I going to do?
they're thinking like I think what they're thinking is like, oh, you downloaded the games,
You rip the
ripped
files.
the file as it was coming in or something, and it's like.
You
But you can
Uber,
detect that. You can
but it's
see
like-
that.
you
but it's like-
Uber hacker manned this entire
But it's like-
game.
They
the
managed
thing
to
is-
corrupt every game on my console so I can't play it, by the way.
Well, yeah, they took away their what is it, the global
the DRM.
key?
There's
Yeah.
a DRM on everything
Right,
that
so-
comes through the Play Store.
So simply because my account is banned, every game that I paid for up until this point, you're going to say, oh, you cannot play that anymore.
well,
You
here's
can't
the
have that.
thing: you don't own anything. is
Well-
what Sony says.
Well,
It's
what I
and
do,
that's what a lot of the when you're buying things online, it's like you're buying the license to play it, but you're not actually buying it, so
Yeah.
you don't own it, which is a massive scam. Like I don't
Yeah.
think that's a good thing, and that's something.
but we agree to it in the terms. of course.
But you agree to it because it's the only way you can play the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It's that, or you have to buy a disc, and you may not even have a console that has a disc drive anymore. Right. Like it's crazy that it's like that. This is a practice that's allowed, but like Nintendo does it. Like technically, like Steam
Oh,
does it.
Nintend's worse.
Yeah, no, Nintendo's worse. Nintendo will actively like take things out that are like pirated on the side, but like it's like Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, Microsoft, Steam, all of them have this thing like anything that you're buying online you don't own anymore.
Mhm.
So it's like you're paying this money and you're just paying the right to use it, which means like if they stop supporting the servers, if they make it so you can't read like if they take the download off, like with HBO, like when HBO took all those videos off or all those movies off or whatever, it's like if they don't support the server anymore, they take that server down that has the game, like it's gone. It's now essentially lost media.
Like I remember the drama with when HBO was first saying like, yeah, we're about to start like pulling all of these like old videos we have because like they just don't get enough like viewership anymore to like take up
They
space.
nuked like half their library to lower their valuation.
Yeah.
Like, they straight up deleted things, like
And-
entire things that were only on HBO too.
And it makes sense because there's cost to maintaining and licensing, all this other dumb stuff. The point is, I will never forget the first time that like delete wave came and why the controversy came. It was because they were deleting all the HBO After Dark shows because no one was watching them anymore. For example, the hit HBO show Bunny Ranch or something along that lines, like Bunny something, which was about the actual Las Vegas brothel, and like it was like a reality TV show based in this brothel, and it's like you're basically just watching softcore porn on HBO.
Oh boy.
And like
you
this
get it for
is
free. Come on, guys.
well, you can get it for free, but keep in mind, like I guess back in the day, because I remember growing up, the whole joke, like Skinamax, like Cinemax after 12 was literally just soft, not even softcore, like mid-core. Like there was some wild things happening on Skinamax after 1 a.m.
Sure.
And like HBO was there too, and like obviously nowadays you're right. Now so everything's for free, and like there's better things on the internet.
I get it.
Those shows don't get enough viewership anymore, so HBO was like, "Oh, we don't need this anymore, so we're just deleting it." And the wave of outrage, like, "Don't you dare take these
Don't
videos
destroy
off!"
my softcore.
And I'm like, I love how that's
amazing.
when the internet can ban when you attack our. That's when we're like, "No,
Well, that's
how
what the
dare you?"
internet's for, you know.
But yeah, no, you don't own anything if it's digital.
And it's
you don't
really
own it anymore.
frustrating. And yeah, so your account gets banned, and now you don't have access to the DRM, and yeah, sorry.
Well, that's fine. So, in order to reinstate the account, not only would I've had to pay the $74, so they gave me a way to reinstate my account. I would have had to pay the $74
You have to
back,
buy it. Yeah.
So you
but I had to do so by purchasing PlayStation gift cards
That
at
sounds like a scam.
$20 a piece, which means I would have had to spend $80 to pay the $74.
Sure.
Right?
That sounds like a scammer.
Wait, huh.
Contacted you to
Exactly.
get your account back. Like, you have
Yeah.
to buy gift cards to. Why can't they just charge you on your card?
Well, they
or
can't
something?
because
Well-
it's been reported fraud.
Yeah. I
So
could
they
use a
actu-
different card, but they won't even take that because they're like, oh, well, this guy is gonna
He's
he's
just
known
gonna-
for
he's just gonna-
disputing, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna risk their credit license. They're not gonna risk their business. So like, and even then, like the bank won't even allow it to go through because the merchant was reported fraud by
Fraud,
this
yeah,
user
okay.
once. So they're just gonna be like, oh, auto flag. It's not even gonna go through.
Right.
Well, so since they were being hard asses about this,
You haven't.
I decided that I would just look and see just how much money I've spent on PlayStation over the last few years.
A couple
Since
dollars.
2021, I had spent $5,500 on games or consoles through PlayStation.
Oh yeah, because you got the
PS5, which was
PS5.
$700, the Portal, which was like $200, and the VR,
PS5.
which
Oh,
was.
did you buy like a scalped PS5 or?
Um,
$500.
No, it was a bundle, so that's why it was
Oh,
that
okay.
expensive. And then the VR headset, which was, I forget how much it was, maybe it was like $500 or something like that.
Oh, the VR.
So that, then, I mean, that's only what, like $1,500, and then plus the other
PlayStation
4,000
Network.
was
games.
PlayStation Network games, stuff like that, right? So I disputed every transaction, going back to 2021, which was like 115 different transactions. And so now I owe Sony like upwards of $1,000 because some of them did not go through, some of them
course
did,
not.
right? But I'm gonna appeal those decisions and say, hey, I don't have access to this content, and so therefore,
Did you buy the PlayStation from Sony or did you buy it from someone else?
I bought one PlayStation from Sony and I bought another from GameStop.
I wouldn't dispute the GameStop.
Yeah,
They
they
didn't do
didn't do
anything.
anything.
Well,
wrong.
I didn't actually. So I did not personally dispute every single transaction. I asked a Goldman Sachs representative. Goldman Sachs backs Apple Card. I asked a Goldman Sachs representative to open disputes for all of these transactions from Sony,
Mhm.
and that was caught up in the
Interesting.
bunch, right?
Well, you said from Sony, so maybe
Yeah.
that one didn't go through because that's a different merchant. That wouldn't be.
Well, it said
From Sony.
PlayStation, so I don't know. I guess
Maybe if they search PlayStation.
I guess when I got one of my PlayStations, it was a bundle that I got through Sony.
Yeah, it just depends. It just depends on how they want to filter it. But yeah.
Sure,
I don't know. There was something I spent on Sony like that was $699, and that one did not go through. But there were a few more that didn't, and those were $70 games that
Yeah.
I'm gonna dispute those again or like appeal the decision on those because like I don't have access to play them, and I want my money back.
Mhm.
So how is it that they can refund some of them but not all of them? What's the line? That's what I want to.
I don't know.
Probably
banks.
time.
That's
or-
probably The bank. There's probably some metric for them to like auto
It's
like,
probably
Their rationale was that the
decline or whatever.
their rationale for declining my dispute was that they were able to verify that I received the content, that I received the order, right? And so, yeah, I received all of it. That's not the problem. The problem is that I no longer have access to it because I disputed a transaction through you all, right?
Mhm.
So I disputed a transaction through you all, which led to Sony banning my account. And therefore, I feel that if I don't have access to any of this content that I paid for in the past, that I should be refunded the money for, like, for example, with Stadia. You remember when Stadia went under? Google
What's
refunded.
Stadia?
Stadia was like,
A streaming thing.
yeah, like
Game streaming.
game
It was
streaming.
the first
Who
game streaming.
thought that was a good idea? Who
Well,
was this?
Nvidia thought it
Google?
was a good idea, and they're doing pretty good with GeForce now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Microsoft's technically doing it too. I mean, it works okay. It doesn't work that well.
Well,
If you have
Google,
all the bandwidth, sure, but if you don't, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
even if you
worked
have
pretty
the
decently.
bandwidth, I had the bandwidth. Like I had Ethernet, 300 down, and I could not play. Like it's like Microsoft's like, here, play some Starfield.
So,
It's
sorry,
like,
I meant
no,
to say
it
if you
doesn't work.
had the data cap.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's one thing people forget. Your internet, even at
Yeah.
home, is data capped.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
it's actually it becomes a ping thing, because like
Yeah,
what
ping
they have
pong
to
for
do
sure.
is essentially when you're playing a game online, like it is kind of like the server has to do some amount of like rendering of the game itself for you,
Mhm.
because like it needs to get all the players in the same place and not allow people to say, oh, I'm actually over here right behind this person killing them,
Mhm.
which would be cheating. So for these games, what they end up doing a lot of the time, and why a lot of them only work with like a controller, is because they're trying to predict your movement based on your previous movement, so that you feel like you have less ping, right? Because
But I'm
ultimately, you're
unpredictable. You can't predict that, especially when I'm playing. Destiny 2.
yeah, you haven't
Everywhere.
seen
right, which
you
and
haven't
so
seen
you,
solo play a video game.
true,
Clearly,
true,
Yeah.
true. Well,
My
yeah.
Destiny 2 gameplay is top notch. I got to start streaming, bro.
he
I'd
just
have so many.
he's
followers.
360 YY no scoping everything.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Take
bro.
that, Taken King.
You gotta get the sniper compilations up.
I don't snipe, man.
Headshot.
Sniping
the,
is not fun.
And then he
the
edits
smoke
it.
weed every day.
Sniping's not fun. Sniping is so lame.
He plays like some Avenged Sevenfold song over it.
I use grenade launchers.
Yeah.
Oh, the 360 YY grenade launcher no scope. I love that.
No, it's the
Oh, it's the
noob-
aerial noob tube.
noob tube. Yeah, the noob tube. Noob tube comps.
I love those. I remember watching Face. That was a Face Spider. I remember watching those.
Yeah, those the phase noob tubes, dude.
But yeah, so you got hacked, or no, you got banned.
You got banned, not hacked.
Yeah, I got banned. Disputed all those transactions. Ended up buying a upgraded graphics card for my PC.
That's
And-
fine. That's where we want to be anyway.
Yeah, and like so now that I can't use my portal,
You can play Helldivers though, because you don't need the PSN account.
huh?
You can play Helldivers again on Steam now because you don't need the PSN account.
Oh, they took
Yeah,
it
but
off?
I'd have to start from scratch.
That's okay, soldier.
Are
That
y'all still
sounds-
For
playing?
democracy,
Are y'all still playing Helldivers?
semi-regularly.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it. But now I use my iPad as my place
Oh,
as my
God.
portal.
I'm sorry.
It actually works
I
extremely
mean, you
well.
can use Steam lets you do streaming.
I don't use Steam Link. Steam Link was laggy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was laggy in comparison to Moonlight.
I haven't really used it.
He
So
uses-
I wouldn't know. You
No,
use
there's
Moonlight?
yeah, so the GeForce,
Yep.
GeForce streaming, and then
that's
Moonlight
probably
is
better.
the receiver, right? I mean, and
Does it like use? Does it? I agree. The Steam Link's laggy. I don't actually.
it's
use
just
it really.
it's not that it's like super laggy. I mean, it's pretty
Oh.
comparable to the
Is it?
Portal.
Okay, because
It's just-
I was getting no luck out of it when I was trying it out.
I mean, you also like fucked up your internet setup. So
that was before that was, and it might have been because I was on Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi was fucked up, so who knows?
But I mean, I'm like on the iPad. I'm playing over Wi-Fi on the same network. Like there's Ethernet going into my PC, obviously, but like I'm still over Wi-Fi with the iPad, and even on the mesh, I could be on the other side of the house in another like hop to another AP, and it's like working pretty fine. I'm averaging between 3 to 5 millisecond latency, so it's
That's
pretty
doable.
good. At worst, sometimes when in the middle of the day, it's like 9. But even that's like pretty solid. So I'll either be using the iPad, or it even works. The Moonlight app works on the Vision Pro too, so I can literally be like just laying down on the couch looking straight up, fully immersed in like Bora Bora on the beach, playing Destiny, just like, you know, it works really, really well.
I'm just thinking about all the like zonked out people. This is this is the new iPhone or cell phone hate, where it's like all these kids are just walking around looking at their phones all day. It's like all these kids are just sitting on their beds playing in their VR headsets and Bora Bora.
I'm just mad that
I don't want to be here with you, Grandpa.
I'm just mad that I was expecting some hate-fueled rage speech
honestly,
as to why you got banned.
That's really what happened.
Actually, that's probably what he was saying to the customer support.
That's probably what happened on customer
No,
support.
that's probably, they went back and reviewed everything, and they were like, we just need a reason. Just give us a reason to ban this guy.
Give us a reason.
They saw you say ass once, and they're like,
God, uttered
too many S's.
He uttered one Indian slur, and that man said, "Not today."
Oh my God. Join us next time. We're going to be taking a deep dive into Apple's new AI.
All right.
And all of the other stuff from WWDC we didn't get a chance to talk about today. Maybe.
Possibly. We'll see. There could be even more juicy drama by there.
Did Google I.O. happen already?
Who knows?
I feel like I've been on a roll.